Okay guys, welcome back. I hope you all had a lovely Easter holidays and you ate loads of Easter eggs. So we're going to move right on to the next topic, and the next topic is rivers. So this is a topic you already will know quite a bit about, simply because you have seen a river. You've seen lots of rivers. And we are going to go with the subtitle of Rolling on the River. So, when you think of rivers, you know that they have water in them. You know that some are large, some are quite small. You know that they change as they go towards the sea. And that some of them move quite quickly. So you will have seen lots of rivers that look quite differently, and you will have seen some rivers that look different as they move from one area to another. But why do we need to know about rivers? Why are rivers important? Well, there's lots of reasons. So they are important as they drain the land of rainwater and carry it out to sea. In areas that don't have good drainage, they tend to be quite boggy areas and tend to hold a lot of water, which isn't ideal for an awful lot of things that people do. Not ideal for farming, not ideal for industry, or so on. Rivers are a source of drinking water and of water that can be used in industry. Very important. Rivers are a source of food, fish. People also like to use rivers for recreation, for fishing, or canoeing, or kayaking, or swimming. And very importantly, rivers can be used to generate electricity through hydroelectric power. So those are big dams that are used to stop rivers and control the flow of water through an area to generate electricity. Now, rivers have different parts that you need to be aware of. So the first is the source. The source is the beginning or the start of a river. So if you were thinking of the River Lee, the source or the beginning of the River Lee is in Gougane-Barra. The course. So the course is the route that a river takes to get to the sea. And in the case of the Lee, it moves from Gougane-Barra through Ballingarry, Ballincollig, and eventually into Cork City, where it enters the sea at the port of Cork. Confluence. A confluence is the point where two rivers or two streams join together. And then a tributary is the name of a stream or a smaller river that flows into or joins a larger stream or river. So the name of the river, the small river joining a larger river, is a tributary, but the point where they join is the confluence. A drainage basin, that's an area of land drained by a river. And a watershed is a high area of land which separates two drainage basins, so it's a mountainous area between two areas that are drained by different rivers. And then the estuary is the part of a river mouth that is tidal. By tidal we mean this is down near the sea. It is affected by the tide coming in and the tide going out. You will see that near Snove. If you're looking at the Camola River, the Camola-Borlin River, when the sea is out, there is a lot of kind of mud and silt on view, and when the sea is in, when the tide is in, there is a lot less because it's full of water. So that area that is tidal is an estuary. And then the river mouth is the place where the river enters the sea. In the case of the River Lee, that is in Cork City. Now there are stages that you are going to need to know also, stages of a river. And rivers go through 3 stages, which is quite important to know. So there are different features formed by processes that are active in each stage. So we're going to go through processes in our next video lesson. But for now, just be aware that there are 3 stages that you need to know, and you get different features in those stages because different processes are active. So you have the youth stage or the upper course. You can use either one of those. And in that area, you have very steep, mountainous land usually. Have a river that is very skinny or thin because it doesn't have a lot of water in it. So it's steep gradient and not very much water in the river, but like anything that's on something steep, if it's moving, it's going to move very quickly. And you get features like our V-shaped valley in this diagram. You get waterfalls and rapids, like in this diagram, and a more impressive waterfall. And going back to our first photo, you also get these interlocking spurs. So that's our first stage, the mountains near the source of the river. It is fast moving because of a steep gradient. The next stage is your mature stage or your middle course. So we have youthful stage, mature stage, and we'll go on to the next one in a while. And you have upper course, middle course, and we'll go on to the next one. So in the mature stage, you have a lot more water in the river. The gradient is much flatter, the slope isn't as big, and the river moves much more slowly. But it's more powerful also because there's more water in it. So you get these great big loops on the river, and those are known as meanders. They're the main feature of our mature stage that you're going to want to be aware of. So these big loops on a river are meanders. And here's another very pleasant looking meander on this river. And then our final stage, so we had youthful, mature and old age stage. And then our lower course. So it was upper, middle and lower courses. So just like people, when they get old, they start to move more slowly. So the river is moving very slowly at this stage. It is a much flatter gradient, and we get things being formed such as the floodplain that you can see here. So when there's extra water in the river, it's going to come outside of its banks and flood this area. When that happens repeatedly, it's a floodplain. You have this, which is a levee. So a levee is a ridge of very fertile soil that builds up on the bank of the river because of repeated flooding. And we have this, which is a river delta, also formed in the old age stage, or the lower course of the river. Now that's as much as I want you to do today. I want you to think about rivers, take down the notes from this video, and we'll ease ourselves back into it. Well done, everybody.